Welcome to PGL, where I'm joined by Trouble and the victorious Odoamne, still undefeated in the spring season. Odo, congratulations on the win. Welcome to PGL. Talk me through the game. It looked pretty rogue favored throughout.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a specific Mad Lions game where I feel like the thing they did with the Herald, where they ended up 5 top, it's really Resident Sleeper Pepega gameplay from them, that they just always group and do stuff like this. So I feel like it was kind of like a typical Mad Lions game, but I mean, we adapted pretty well because we were looking to kind of set up a trap for them at the same time, because bot wave was really good for us. So I think they just kind of lost the game there, because by the time we killed everyone on top and then we TP'd bot, the game was kind of over because someone was a level and a half behind or something like that. So I think it just escalated out of control from there.
It felt that you guys shut down Rika very early into the game, because Rika was usually getting a lot of attention from Kaiser and Elyoya as well. And you guys had Trim believe in his brain rent-free the entire game.
How much of that was pre-planned and how much of it was adaptive in-game?
I mean, I think it just happened. The first time he died, he kind of fail flashed as well. And after that, it's just kind of a chain reaction snowball effect where it's the easiest target on the map for us to focus, because he's just going to walk around with no flash and our champs are so good to catch him. So I feel like after that, he kind of lost lane control and he couldn't really play anymore. And yeah, everything just went downhill from there from him. So it wasn't really pre-planned. It just was on the fly in game because we just noticed it.
It worked out really well. I absolutely love hearing from Larson as well, saying they gave me Victor. I mean, that's all I can do is play scaling mages. We're fine with that. The reason, of course, I bring him up, Larson is going to be your key player of the game, Victor. He picked up 44% of the vote. It was actually a really difficult one to pick from because every single one of the players, stepped up and played extremely well. Odo, unfortunately, no POG for you today. I'm sorry, my man.
I mean, to be honest, I did check the votes, and it was kind of crazy that I almost won that vote when Larson played so well today. The fact that it was only like 3% difference in votes kind of shows that maybe POG is a bit rigged. So definitely happy that he picked up the dub today on the POG leaderboard. But yeah, it was kind of crazy that it was so close. It shouldn't have been this close because he popped off really hard today.
Odoamne, I actually have a consolation prize for you. There's another leaderboard that we're tracking. It is, of course, total kills. And I'd like you to know that you're the 9th player to accumulate 1,000 total kills across all of the LEC. And, of course, to celebrate, Rogue, your management, your team wanted to throw some confetti. The bang, I wasn't expecting. So congratulations on 1,000 kills, Odo.
Yeah, I wish I would have celebrated 2,000 deaths today, but we take those, I guess. So, yeah.
A little bit more.
I'm ecstatic. I love it. I love it.
I can tell.
Great. Life is great.
Theatrics is definitely your thing. There's no doubt about that. But
I'm genuinely feeling like this.
a little bit more seriously, though. Odo, you've been around for a very long time. If I recall correctly, you joined EULCS in 2014. You were playing the year prior. That means that when you joined the league, I was 26 years old and started to shoutcast you and have done so every single year since then. You are now 27 years old, still performing at the top of Europe. What does it mean to you to be around for so long, to be still active, to still be so competitive?
I mean, it's crazy, but now when I think about it, when people ask me, hey, what season, or like, when did you start playing League? And I say season 1. Now that I think about it, that's 11 years ago, and it's completely crazy. I did not expect. I mean, I don't know, it has never been. I mean, my goal has always been to be the last top lane dog, because Soaz was also like playing for a really long time. So my goal in like season 4, when I joined the league, or season 5, was to kind of be the king of the hill, the last man standing from top lane veterans. And now it's been, I think, 2 or 3 years since Soaz is gone as well, and I'm kind of the last one standing. And yeah, it's completely crazy, I never expected to make it this far, but at the same time, I'm incredibly grateful that actually getting 1,000 kills after such a long time and just being in the league for such a long time is just a blessing in a way, because I just love competing so much, and being able to just compete every day and just kind of practice and do the thing I love is something completely crazy. And I didn't really expect to just be here even at 27, because back when I was 19 and I started this, it was kind of just like a little kid's dream or a hobby or a passion, and you didn't really think much of it. But now that I look back at myself, I'm just kind of incredibly proud, because I'm playing this game for such a long time and I'm still here when a lot others are gone. I don't think there's anyone left from the time I started, except even Reckless is gone now, which is kind of crazy, because Reckless was the one guy maybe that was here before me, and Jankos as well. Jankos is also still here. So it's nice that there's still a boomer squad in here, and I'm really happy that I'm part of the boomer squad. And yeah, I mean, my goal is achieved. I'm the last top lane dog left standing. So many more years to come, hopefully.
And it's a blessing to also have you still in the LEC, Odoamne. There's been this perception that, the younger and the hungrier that you are, less experience, you get into the scene and you take everyone's position, everyone's job. But I think the king himself, FLICKR, has made a pretty good case on why experience can sometimes outshine the hunger and outshine the fire that comes in with being a rookie. And I think you're one of the examples as well, Odoamne, here. So I think I speak for everyone's mind where I say that we're really glad that we still have you in the league, and for many more years to come as well.
Especially when you're watching the clips, I can see Odo grinning and smiling. What does it feel like when you watch back and see some of the highlights of your own moves, and now you're reflecting, you're being an old man, part of the boomer club? Does it make you smile? Do you look at that, or do you go, man, I could have done that even better?
Yeah, I look back at it, and there's like this there's a Odoamne montage, and it's a really, really bad one from like season 3 or 4. And I'm just looking back at my play in season 3 or 4. I'm like, oh my God, I was horrible. Everyone was just so bad, and I was even worse than everyone, I still look back at the series where I got 3-0 stomped by Copenhagen Wolves and 3-0 stomped by Super Hot Crew to join the LEC twice. And I look at those times and I'm like, yeah, that guy does not deserve a place in the LEC.
Dude, it is exactly the same. When I go back to watch any of my old games or some of those montages come up, I'm just like, how the hell am I still here? So definitely, we're very lucky that the scene, the game, everything has evolved with us. And of course, with that in mind, I want to ask you a little bit more about the team and the players. As someone that has been around, you've been a new player on existing teams. You've had new players joining your team. You've had rookies in and out. What is Rogue 2022 like, and what is the process of integrating these new players been like behind the scenes, the stuff that we don't see?
I mean, Rogue 2022 is very, very pleasant or very nice to be in. Many would argue that, talent-wise, we downgraded because Inspired and Hans left. But at the same time, there are some teams that won championships with, not the best roster on paper, just from the fact that they click. And I feel like the main benefit of this iteration of 2022 Rogue is that we're kind of all clicking. We got a new addition in the coaching staff as well that is making this whole process a lot easier, and it's a lot better. So there's huge benefits to the coaching staff as well. But it just feels nice to be in a place now where there's no arguing or egos and stuff, and the whole improving process is very streamlined and everything is a lot simpler like it should be. While 2021 Rogue kind of had this Samsung White vibe where players might not necessarily get along the best, but the talent is there, and there's this constant struggle to put the differences aside and get on the same page and perform together, even though the interpersonal relationships are not really the best, So this year it feels like we didn't really downgrade talent-wise. I feel like talent-wise we're at a comparable level. Time will tell how good we can become. But just the fact that we can improve so much easier is definitely the big benefit for this roster.
I'm glad you guys are having a very healthy relationship in and out of the race, as it looks like. I wanted to ask you, what does it feel like to have somebody like Malrang step into the roster? Of course, I would like a little bit of behind the scenes of how the communication is like between you guys, because we've heard he's having a lot of English lessons as well. So how is that coming along?
Yeah, I mean, Rogue is dumping a lot of lessons on him. Sometimes I'm helping him with homework. I mean, everyone is helping him with homework. He just comes to us and he's like, I need help for my homework, and we're just helping him and stuff. But at the beginning of it, it was also definitely hard, you know, because obviously there's some sort of language barrier because he's not so accustomed to English as a language, and he's learning, and he's also maybe shy because he's traveling across the world to a different continent to play with people he never met. So there were some barriers that we had to overcome at the beginning in terms of like comfort. But now that he got more accustomed to us as, you know, teammates and people and everything, his English got a lot better. He's not so shy to speak English. And at first we just had to make some sort of process in the way we were talking to him. It was always like simple communication. Don't overspeak or over elaborate when you don't need to. It was literally you speaking league concepts where it's like push, pull, can dive, need defend, stuff like this. Kind of like, you know, broken English, simple words.
Very basic.
Until he gets, very basic English until he gets more accustomed to, like, you know, everyone's accents, everyone's tone of speaking, and also until he picks up, you know, like all these words and stuff. But to be honest, the fluidity or the whole process of him learning English has been very fast, because comparing it to Ryu or Nuclear or Che, my previous Korean teammates, he already kind of surpassed them in terms of like English level in, you know, like 3 weeks or 4 weeks. He's already better than they were after, you know, like 1 year of speaking. So definitely hit the jackpot in his language learning abilities. He's a gem. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of exciting and also difficult at first. I mean, it was hard when you couldn't really communicate, you know, the ideas or the ways in which you like precisely wanted to communicate. But now I feel like we're getting there, and I feel like everyone's more chill now and everyone's happier, and I feel like we can understand each other at a good level. So I don't think there's issues there on that front anymore.
I am so excited to see where this road continues to develop and to grow. And on a personal level, as somebody who's had the pleasure of shoutcasting all of your games, Odo, both good and bad, it is also a pleasure to see how you've grown on camera and in interviews and chats. Thank you again. We're not done with the show. We do need to move on. Let's take a look at the standings after week 2, day 1. Team Vitality, they finally grabbed their very first win of the season. It was over Team BDS earlier today. I'm not certain if you were able to watch the game, Odo, but what's your take on the first win for Team Vitality?
I feel like it's kind of a heated topic now because everyone's spamming, you know, refund Team Vitality because they went 0-3. But at the same time, in the grand scheme of things, if you go 0-3 and then you end 15-3, then no one really cares that you went 0-3, you know, because it's just one bad week, and with new roster, there's always growing pains. You know, you just flip a coin, and if your first week is good or bad, then you kind of just take it. But I don't know, like, definitely the talent is there, potential is there. It's just mostly, I think, a question of how they
synergize and develop and grow. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a question of those things. And in the long run, time will tell, because I feel like there's been a lot of times across the years where everyone's like, oh, on paper, they're a super team, blah, 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 and all of this stuff. And then they end up flopping, and then a random team ends up winning, you know? And it's just more like, yeah, on paper, there's so many super teams, but there's just more than, you know, the player. There's also like the collective that not a lot of people look at.
The approach to work, communication, a whole bunch of things behind the scenes. Trouble, I'm going to turn to you very quickly. Fnatic and Rogue currently undefeated at the top of the table. They each have a game tomorrow, and then they face each other next week.
Oh, that'll be spicy.
Anticipation, they both go into that match undefeated?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking they're both going to go 5-0. They look so strong in their own devices.
Well, we'll see what happens. That's next week. Of course, tomorrow, however, we will be wrapping up week 2. It'll be G2 taking on Vitality to close out the day. Rogue will be playing Team BDS, and Fnatic will be taking on Misfits. I'm going to get a prediction. G2 versus Vitality. Odoamne, who do you think is going to win?
I'm more inclined to say that G2 will take the dub, but at the same time, I still heard, or like, I mean, it's kind of like they're saying it themselves, that they still have issues with their health or like COVID issues and whatnot. So I feel like that might be a factor, but for me, I still put G2 as taking it over Vitality.
You know what? I'm just actually going to give it to Vitality because today they showed us actual teamwork. As Perk said, finally we clicked together, we gelled together, and we played as one. And I think now that they've overcome all the difficulties, they're all together playing, you know, next to each other.
In one game. This is definitely a gut instinct
this is
prediction.
The start. All you need is one dub.
Instinct prediction. Well, they'll find out tomorrow. That does it from us here tonight. Over in the LCS, their last day of the locking group stage starts right now with CLG versus Dignitas. Tune in tomorrow for more LEC action in the final day of week 2. Odo, thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure chatting.
Always a pleasure.
Welcome to Berlin, Germany. Today we continue the LEC 2022 season as teams are looking to pick up the pace following the events of Super Week.
We get ready for this first game. Certainly set to be explosive, 2-1 to 1-2. Let's take a look who will come out on top. Shot on Marcoon, now knocking him in. Keep your eyes on the Dragon, but the Dragon might not even matter. Instead, the jungler just going to be picked off. Marcoon flashing over the whole stage. Here and doing so much damage, pairing up with VTO. Stands strong, but not strong enough. Double for VTO.
Yeah, pretty clean game for Misfits the second they got that fight. From that point onwards, they were just dominating the game.
Hey, we're about to jump into game between Fnatic and Astralis.
Look at Upset. If he finds one reset, everybody could fall. He's chasing forward, he's getting excited. This is the pendant for Upset. One more kill, double, triple. Promiscue goes golden. That's the Baron, that's the fight for Fnatic.
Can SK get another upset win over a top team, or will G2 prevail and move on to 3-1?
Gideus goes in, there's Cadison, they're looking for Cat. Tempest Fate hits 2, Jesu's still alive on the back of it. Look at Broken Blade though, the Shockwave will bring them back. Broken Blade trying to get in from the side, he dives in, he dives back, he dives forward, and thus far only Trees dies. Genox went onto the back line as well, and he will be shut down. 5 members strong, G2 stand up and fight. Jesu forced away, FLICKR shuts him out.
Team BDS versus Team Vitality. Let's see who stands victorious today.
Selfmade, undertow, onto Limit, just wants to chase onto X-Maddie, instead Limit the first target. Selfmade, look at the darn healing! Selfmade's a monster! Team Vitality will absolutely demolish BDS.
We are ready for our final match of the day, a battle between 2 of the best performing teams in week 1, Rogue and the Mad Lions.
Trimby picks up first blood.
You deserve that first blood, Trimby, as well. It would have been better to give it to Larssen, but damn it, that was a brilliant blind hook.
Rika, flash, forward, Larssen with the stopwatch. TP immediately from Odoamne as they look to try and take on this fight. Trimby gets into the front line, lands the knock-up. Comp on a killing spree now and Unforgiven. Oh no, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Malmo finds the flank, Odoamne caught him out. Rika down.